Right now, we're on the northernmost edge of Lake Como. If you carried on far from here, there, amongst the Valtellina Mountains, you'd get to Tirano, which is where SELVA has its head office. SELVA is a well-established Italian engineering company that produces outboard engines and components for American and Japanese engines. SELVA also assembles and distributes various packages, that is, boats and ribs that come complete with outboard engine. The one we're going to try out today is the SELVA D650, family special, equipped with a SELVA 150 horsepower XSR Kilowell outboard engine. I have no doubt that the company has given us a special outboard for this trial too. The clue is in the particular branded logo, XSR. But before trying it out, let's have a look at the boat. It's a rib that's fitted out to please purists, with a little something extra. Spending a few hours or day on the water doesn't call for that much, and simplicity quite often is a nice gift. And after all, the fewer the furnishings, the less weight we're carrying, which means less cost, bigger spaces, and more practical use of it. And in fact, that's what I like in a rib, the sense of practicality. Makes it easy and nice to sail. For anyone who's just getting into the world of sailing, there's nothing better than a pneumatic boat with big tubulars filled with air. Makes you feel more secure when you're out there in the middle of the water and less worried when you're getting close to another boat or running into a sandbank. White air chambers are great to look at, but they're dirty easily, which is why they've added a black fender here to the contact area. There are 4 handles per side on the top, so there's a handle wherever you need it. At the bow, the sun area can be made longer, with an extension that links the forward deck with the chair in front of the console. The quarterdeck is narrow, it's not cluttered, and the deck surface seems bigger than it actually is. The eating area at the stern is somewhere you can sit comfortably, anchored up, or when you're sailing, when you can lunch or stretch out in the sun using the extension. It's a perfect rib for a family, even a large one. The raised borders of cushions are anatomical, backrests are well padded. It's missing a space close to the bathing area, but it's not that necessary really. You can use the tubulars to get back onto it, as well as to sit on. There's room for 2 in the driving seat. The cabled control lever is encased, so it's less easy to bang against it accidentally. The windscreen protects you a little bit, but if there is bad weather, it would be useless. There is storage at the bow for bags and equipment, and lockers inside the console. And all the storage areas are incredibly well made with countermolds.
The SELVA
D650 Family Special can be decked out with a 100, 115 or 150 horsepower engine, or with the 150 horsepower XSR. We know by the presence of this logo that SELVA have worked hard to get the best out of this monoblock. It's an inline 4-cylinder, 2,670 centimetres cubed, built by Yamaha, with double overhead camshaft and 4 valves per cylinder. The fact is that it's not enough to make an engine with perfect electronic mapping. It needs to be installed well too. They've mounted it on the 3rd hole of the stand. That is, they've raised it in relation to the higher side of the transom in order to have less resistance in the water. And then they mounted a very big propeller with no brand name. Maybe it's a secret. It doesn't matter. What's really important for us is that we figure out if this package really works. I like it because it finds the right angle of incidence straight away. Look, it's planing. The nose hasn't risen up much. The wake is good and we're only doing 10 knots. At this speed, we're using 10 litres of petrol an hour, a litre a mile. But it's not the easiest speed to go at. Let's find the best speed. 20 knots, 15 litres an hour. We're using less than a litre per mile. Moving on to our next bit of research. Does a package really offer more? Wow, you can really feel the XSR mapping here. We're doing about 4,000 revs a minute, and it's very snappy. The reaction time on moving the lever is impressive. And at 4,000 revs a minute, with the trim low, we're going 28 knots. I'm going to raise the trim a bit. I can't hear the water anymore. Can't hear the noise of the wake ahead there. The balance has changed. No, I like it when a boat or rib responds so well to adjustments I do with the trim. I've brought it very high, 70%, but without accelerating I've gained a cool 3 knots, 31 knots. Consumption, 27 litres an hour, so I'm still doing more than a mile a litre. So far that's good. The boat reacts well at this speed when it's turning 2. There's no difficulty holding the course I've given it. The sunshade is having a bit of a rough time, but I'm not worried about that. Sometimes when the rib feels this light on the water, it can be quite difficult to control. You might think it won't manage rapid swerving like the slalom, but that's not true here. This rib is easy to drive and it feels safe too. Some of the boat is still in the water and the engine is working well. It's not too high. 36 knots now. And consumption is, well, with the wind in our favour, 32 litres an hour. Engines are at 4,700 revs a minute, and now let's see if they've worked really well at high speed. Keeping an eye on the rev counter and speedometer, and well, even the waves. 5,500 revs a minute, and we're doing 41 knots, 41.3. 6,000 revs a minute, 43.8 knots. A little more trim, 44.2. 44.6. The wind isn't going to let me go faster, but I reckon we could. So that's what's good about a package. They give you a rib and engine that are perfectly balanced, with an outboard at the right height, the perfect propeller to get the best performance, not just in terms of speed, but consumption too. And then a package is always advantageous in terms of costs. This rib, including all accessories and outboard, costs depending on what power you choose, 100 to 150 horsepower. It's from 40 to 45,000 euros.